friends, welcome to the second class for Standard 8, and today we'll be discussing about the questions that I have given to you in the last class. In the last class, as an assignment, I have given you 3 questions and we'll be discussing those questions today. So the first question was, where do the events narrated in the story take place? And we know that after reading the first 2-3 paragraphs, we know that the story takes place in the palace of the Archduke of Battenburg. All of you have written it correctly. The right answer is at the palace of the Archduke of Battenburg. And I have noticed that some students have written the Battenburg as 2 different words. There you have to write it as a single word. Okay. Then the second question was, mention the 2 central characters, the important characters that you identify at this point. And you know that you have seen 2-3 characters by now, and the most important among them are, of course, the main character Tile and the captain of the guard. Then the third question was, what do you understand about the character of Tile? Is he a serious man or one with a sense of humor? How do you know this? So in this question, we have 2 sections, whether Tile is a humorous person or not. If your answer is yes, what are the supporting points that you have to prove that he is a very humorous person? And when you read the textbook, you can see that his appearance, firstly, his appearance shows that he's a very sort of person who has a great sense of humor. He's riding not on a horse, he's riding on his donkey, and he's wearing a cap with 3 feathers that are dancing in the breeze. And we can see the way he speaks to others. He often cracks some jokes. When the captain of the guards told you that this is not a place for any wanderers or loafers, we don't allow any people like you, he very wisely or humorously he tells, dear captain, dear sir, if I look like skeleton, it's not my fault because I haven't eaten for a few days. And if you give me a cord of gold from your dress, I will buy a large piece of mutton with that money I get from that, and I will eat myself and I'll become a very fat man. So from all this, we can understand that he's a very humorous person. And now we can move on to the remaining paragraphs of the story, and before that I'll make a quick recollection of what I have told you in the last class. So we have seen that Tile is a person who comes to the palace of the Archduke of Battenburg, and he wants to make something. He wants to get something from the Archduke of Battenburg, and he has got a beautiful picture of the Virgin Lady with him, and he wants to show that to Archduke of Battenburg. So, you have seen that the captain changed his mind and allowed him to see the Archduke of Battenburg once he learned that he is from Flanders and he's a painter. So we have stopped there, and in this class we will be continuing the remaining parts of the lesson. I have painted it specially so that I might lay it at your noble feet. I'll paused a few moments for his words to sink in. Then he continued, you must forgive me, your highness, if I have dared to hope that this picture will please you. Perhaps your highness might wish to offer me the chair of your court painter who died recently. I can see the empty velvet chair waiting to be filled. The Virgin's picture was a splendid painting, and the Archduke made up his mind at once. He embraced and kissed him on both cheeks. He said, I shall be delighted to make you my court painter. He directed him to the chair and made him sit on it. Well, my dear fellow, he said, you do have a tongue in your head, and you certainly seem to know how to use it. You are a very talkative fellow, aren't you? Your highness, may it please you to remember me and my donkey, Jeff. For just 1 more minute, I replied. My donkey has been feeding himself fairly well all along the way on the thorns on the hedges and the grass on the roadside, but I've had nothing to eat for the past 3 days. My stomach has been complaining very loudly. Perhaps your highness can even hear it now. I have been feeding myself with dreams of good food and drink at your royal table? The Archduke smiled and said, "Well, my dear fellow, you will certainly have something more solid than dreams to feed on. But where is your donkey? I left him outside opposite the palace. I shall be most grateful if Jeff is looked after. He needs a little fodder and lodging at night," said Tile. The Archduke immediately ordered the donkey to be taken care of, and he added, "Treat it like one of my own animals." Before long, supper was served, and it was like a wedding feast. The tables were loaded with every kind of food and drink. Wine flowed like water. The courtiers stuffed themselves with the choicest dishes. The Archduke made Tile eat and drink until his stomach was about to burst. The Archduke too ate heartily. His face was flushed with drink, and he seemed lost in thought. He suddenly looked up and said loudly, "Our court painter must paint our portrait so that we will have the satisfaction of leaving memory to our descendants. We too have to take our place in history along with our noble ancestors whose portraits adorn this wall." So here, take your pen, pencil, and read these paragraphs, and whenever you find any difficult words, you can refer to a dictionary and just underline the word and check the meaning of that word in the dictionary. Or if you need any further help, you can call me at my number. So here, a few things I'll give you. Tile is a very humorous person, and the way he talks is awesome. And he comes to the palace, of course, with some dreams. He wants to become the court painter. So he already knows that the earlier court painter is no more, and he wants to have that position. And the Archduke was very happy because he likes the way he is talking, and he says, "You are very smart. You are very talkative." And he liked him very much, and he did everything that is needed for Tile. He gave food for Tile, and also he gave orders to his soldiers to look after his donkey. Remember the name of the donkey? Jeff. And he did everything. And usually this type of people, after having a very good food, he become a little philosophic. And he says that, "You see, on these walls there are the pictures, portraits of many great rulers, my descendants." What's the meaning of descendants? Those people who follow the same line of rulers, the followers, the ancestors, the rulers before him, his father, their father, grandfather, in that order, and also the descendants. Descendants here means the people, the rulers who are coming just after him in his in that order. So here he says that he becomes a little philosophic, and he says that we do not know when we are going to die. So I want my followers, my descendants, to see me, just like now I am seeing the pictures of those people who were here before me. So I can see the picture of my father, his father, grandfather, etc., etc., etc. on the wall. So just like this, since you are a painter, you can draw a very good picture. I can see the pictures of the great ancestors here on the wall. So just like this, I want my picture to be there on the wall. So you are a painter, can you draw my picture? I want you to draw my picture. Okay, so just go through this. And somebody has asked the meaning of fodder. Fodder means food for animals. Lodging is a place where you stay, a shelter. It means a shelter. And just go through these paragraphs. If you need any further clarity, feel free to contact me. And some questions I'm giving you as your homework from questions 4 to 9. I want everybody to do these question answers. Write the answers in your notebook, and when you write the answers in your notebook, don't try to imitate what others have done. Try to be genuine. Write your own answers. I will appreciate your genuine words. That's all for today. See you in the next class. Thank you.